How's everybody doing? Well, this is kind of an impromptu stream today. I got a couple of commissions I gotta catch up on. So, and I gotta only have half an hour. I gotta get out of here. But this was a Amadeus Cho commission that I had started a while ago, but I'm not feeling it as much. So, I'm going to probably start over. What's up, Tony? How you doing? Our usual stream is Tuesday night. Today is kind of just a supplemental. What do we call it? So I'm just going to lay out kind of the Amadeus Cho piece again. But I'm thinking to be a little bit more dynamic. And then we got to head out in half an hour. I think I want to stick to the same kind of layout, same kind of concept, where Amadeus Cho is transforming into the Hulk. But I'm going to give it a little bit more of a dynamic twist. I'm going to still stay with a similar pose, but I'm thinking I'm going to make the Hulk kind of screaming, and then counter that with a rather solemn or calculated human Amadeus. DYO Pickle, how you doing? What's up? Dr. Midnight, Kevin P. West. You guys are on Twitch quite often. I'm just going to redo this commission. I'm going to start on it right now, but then I've got to head out in a half an hour, so I'm only giving myself half an hour to kind of do this layout. Some of you might have seen already the previous version, sketch version of this. This is always the, I guess, the most fun, but the hardest part. I already have the pose kind of in mind, but typically I would be sketching this out on paper. Make sure I have everything exactly how I want it before drawing onto the board. This time, this being a commission, and that I've already almost 3/4 of the way finished the original. I'm going to bypass that normal step. How's everybody weekend doing? James Cole, after 2 minutes, drawing after 30 minutes should be no problem. Exactly. James Cole, current reigning champion of our sketch battle, internal sketch battle. If you guys are just watching and you want to jump on, Tuesdays is when we have our regular stream. We do a 2-minute sketch battle. Come up with a character, a random pop character, no reference, 2 minutes, draw from your memory. And then we have a chat vote for the winner. So far, I've been training. There was a convention that I went to called Storm the Block in Abu Dhabi in late 2023. where I'd won the co-champion title, and I might need to move his head down a little bit. This is some of the difference between drawing digitally, which I've been doing on a regular with my comic book work, versus drawing traditionally. Digitally, I can just easily shift it around. Mr. Flowers, Nico S. Blue, good to see you. Kevin P. West. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to be heading out at 7:30. It's going to be a real quick one. So you just really see the initial start of the sketch, even though I'm pretty much going to keep with the original version, which was Amadeus Cho inside of the Hulk. Although thinking about it, once I was looking at it, I was going to finish it earlier this afternoon. But looking at it, I'm like, it's not very dynamic. The Hulk looks kind of bored. And so I said, why not redo it? If you guys have any questions, feel free to punch it in chat. I'll try to read as best I can, but I'm really just going to try to power through this sketch, make sure I get this laid out. And then depending on how I feel later tonight when I get back home, I might jump back on this and finish it, or I might jump on it tomorrow. Although you guys know the life of a comic book artist. What's up, Jamie Odell? The life of a comic book artist, I'm going to be Sunday is a work day. So, and good thing there's no more football. Typically, if there was football, I wouldn't really be getting to work until the last game is over around 8 p.m. here on the West Coast. But this is a long overdue commission from New York Comic Con. I pretty much almost finished it already. But looking at it, the one on the left, again, not too happy with the Hulk. I think it can make it a little bit more exciting. Best birthday weekend ever. Happy birthday, Jamie Odell. All right. Well, what are you guys, what are you doing at home? It's Saturday night out on the East Coast. You going out for drinks later? You got family and friends visiting? And most of all, how old are you? But most of all, happy birthday. If you guys are just watching, we typically stream on a Tuesday night every Tuesday. Usually have a couple other co-hosts that join me. Today is kind of an impromptu. Again, I didn't notify anybody. I just thought, why not stream? Since I have to do a commission and it's not actual comic book pages. I've been mostly doing a lot of Marvel stuff recently, and they tend to be a little bit more I guess secretive in terms of showing work that hasn't been announced or revealed. DC was a little bit different. So if I'm on a DC project, then I might be able to show some of that stuff as long as it's not spoilers. Our DC boss, Jim Lee, had encouraged streaming. It's also difficult. I mean, to hide the whole page or parts of the page. Typically, when I draw, I tend to move the paper around a lot. UJ, how are you doing? Good to see UJ from Taiwan. I still owe UJ a couple emails. I got a guy from Black Box that wants to look at your stuff. UJ, I haven't heard back from a couple other people. 48. 48, Jamie Odell. Congratulations. Well, definitely enjoy it. I hope the weather is getting better in the New York area. It rained here all week this week. But the last couple of days, actually, it's been pretty good. Although now it's, usually after it rains, it gets kind of cold here in LA. So this is going to be an Amadeus Cho. Again, I'm going to follow the previous one. Already, I kind of like the energy in, I don't know how you guys feel, like the energy in the Hulk. And this is the totally awesome Hulk. He already has, to me at least, a little bit more exciting. I will try to keep some of the same, where I went in and did some erasing to create some little effects. It's hard to see on the camera. And then also in the middle, I think if the Hulk's head is up, then Amadeus's head should be down. So that way there's a nice contrast between the two. I do like the guy that did who did that cover when the Hulk cover where he's like made transformation between him and Bruce Banner. Who was that? Jeremy Joe, good to see you. How you doing? Oh, UJ, so you're coming in July. Are you coming with Taiwan Embassy, or are you coming just by yourself? Well, I think hopefully we can line you up with some work before you get here. Because I do know UJ, Taiwan has a booth in Comic-Con. It's usually run through the LA Embassy, or a consulate, I should say. The lady that I knew there, she no longer works at the consulate anymore, but the head is still, I think, the same person. Usually with these international appointments, you can only stay at a place for 3 or 4 years before you get replaced or you have to move to a different location. I know with the U.S. embassies, it's the same thing. That way, I think part of that is or the main purpose of that is to, as a preventive measure to corruption. If you get too familiar with a neighborhood or community, on one hand, you would think that you would want to keep somebody around for a while, but you're coming by yourself. Well, but they do have a booth, so you might want to look into it. I might not be going to Comic-Con. I'm not sure yet. I'll probably be back in the States, but I haven't made up my mind yet as to if I'm going or not. But it'll be a great experience. San Diego Comic-Con was where I first found work. Although it was a much smaller show back then, it was very different. You can basically all the shows, all the publishers had a booth, and then at the booths there would be tables where editors were lined up, and if you were an aspiring artist, you would just line up, wait in line, half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on how popular or big the company was, um, and then get your portfolio reviewed by an actual editor. The editor is the one that counts. You can get it reviewed by artists, but the artists might be able to give you some critiques or might be able to point you in the right direction, but they will not be able to get you any work. Um, well, and I guess that statement in itself might change these days because now there's a lot of artists that have their own, that do their own comics, where they have their own imprints. So, face needs to be bigger on Amadeus. So there are artists that could potentially get you work too. I'll draw Amadeus's face. There's been a lot of police activity outside my place last couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys can hear the people outside. Yeah, so more like the Hulk is roaring back. Amadeus is kind of leaning forward. And is it next weekend or the weekend after? I'm going to be in 2 weeks. I'll be in Kansas City. Any of you in that area? If you guys want to come out, I'll give a secret password for a free sticker. So this is a commission piece. You can see this one on the left that I've already started. I'm not too thrilled with the first iteration. Usually if I sit on it for a few days, I'll find things that I probably would have done differently. I find like this Amadeus face that I drew earlier. Oh, what's up? What do I have here? Oh, look at that. Hello, Butthead. This is my studio assistant, Butthead. I forgot to close his cage, so he might poop on me. I got about 10 minutes left. Then I gotta head out. I might jump on again later tonight after playing basketball, or I might jump on tomorrow to finish this. BJ, I heard it's really hot in Taiwan now. Meanwhile, last week I was in New York, and I got to see My first snow in years. It's always nice when you see the snow initially, right? But I'm sure now that it's been a week, all that snow is turned into, unless it keeps snowing, all that snow will have turned into slush, brown icky slush. I've never driven in snow, so I'm wondering like how it is. But does anybody here read or read Amazing? Is it a Totally Amazing Hulk? If anybody has any insights on some of these characters, let me know. Definitely, I can put into the drawing like what kind of personalities Amadeus. Is he Amadeus both as a human and as the Hulk, or is there a different name? Is he just the Hulk when he's the Hulk? But the basketball game went good. Last week this time I was in New York for the alumni game at my college, Pride Institute. I played on a basketball team there, and it was also the final regular season for the men's varsity team, of which Ace is a member of. What's up, Way High? How you doing? Thank you, James Cole. Yeah, I had done a couple covers of Jeremy Lin make an appearance in the Hulk. Those were from a few years ago. They were fun to do. It was a little weird. I think also, again, looking back, a lot of times looking back at old work, got another 10 minutes. Looking back at old work drives me crazy because I feel like I could have done a whole lot better. So I think before you can see some of the textural, it was just a straight up and down. And I think what I'm going to do is that it'll be a little bit more transformation. It'd be cooler if it was like kind of coming out, like emitting from Amadeus. All right. That way you have a nicer sense of growth. Since it's a little imbalanced though, this sketch. Some of this is the issue of him actually being in the middle of the Hulk as he's in mid-transformation. Probably would have liked to have moved him a little bit further down. Neither did I, Golf Boy. I was sitting here, I was doing some work, and then I figured I had to finish this commission. It's been sitting on my desk for so long, and there's a bunch of stuff that I have to get mailed out. This is a commission that I've owed since New York Comic Con. So that's like, I don't know, how long ago was that? 4 or 5 months, 6 months. So I need to get this done. I need to mail this out. So looking at it, it's an okay drawing. Still something wrong with his face. Maybe a little too cartoony. This one is a little not as aggressive enough. So it's like overall looking at it, it's like okay drawing, but there's just nothing kind of like exciting about it. Whereas I think already I'm off to a pretty much more dynamic start. Uh, Definitely has a little bit ways worth left to go. I think maybe another 45 minutes worth of work. I got pretty much the layout done. Although I think, let me see if I can move this. All right. This is if you guys watch the streams, you know at any time I might erase and start all over. So because the main Hulk is in such a three-quarter view, I think Amadeus has to be. And Amadeus is a kid, right? He's a Or is he? Is he a teenager, or is he like in his 20s? I'm assuming. Wait, he's got to be in his 20s because he's he's working in a lab, right? Speaking of which, what were you guys doing when you were 15, 16? What were you guys doing? Grad student, 19. Okay. Oh, that one was wet. 19-year-old, so we're gonna make sure not to put too many lines on his face. Don't want to age him out. Keep some of the facial features simple. Is he reluctant to turn into the Hulk, or does he use the Hulk like his version of My Bodyguard? And that's a get back moment. If you guys have seen that movie, My Bodyguard, I haven't seen it in years, but it used to be one of my kind of like my one of my cult favorite movies that I used to watch because it was just on HBO like a lot, and I really resonated with the kid, the main kid getting beat up on it. Who was the other guy that was Matt Dillon? Was it that played the bully? Not Matt Dillon. No, no, not yeah. Not Damon. Matt Dillon. So he keeps his personality. He did it to himself on purpose. Simple man at 15 was working out all the time trying to become an elite football player. Yeah. I mean, at that point, I think some of us figure out that, hey, at least you want to reach for something. There's a goal that you want to try to strive for, whether it's to make the team at school and or, possibly get a college scholarship. um, and or just maybe have a passion about something. And also today, these days, like life is pretty different, compared to when, obviously, when I was younger or when you and I were younger. Uh, what is life? No, this is the Tony. This is the I'm referring to the Amazing Hulk version. I think. I don't know. Okay, it's about time. 7:30. I got to get out of here. It's gonna take me half an hour to get to this place, and I gotta still get changed. Should have started streaming sooner. I'll try to jump on again tomorrow to finish this. Um, is Amadeus Cho kind of an introvert, or is he like an outgoing? I'm actually going to go play with a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds now. All right, I might come back and change his face. I'm still not too thrilled with it. He seems a little too. I've never read the book. Like, just looking at some of the artwork and covers for referencing, he seems to be smiling a lot. So, all right. Probably have him come up a little bit higher. But I know there's going to be a huge discrepancy in height in reality, but let me make him a little bit higher, just for the sake of the composition of this piece. By the way, is there any change in the toss in terms of music that I can play, so I don't have any dead moments? It's really unnatural to to talk and draw at the same time. But I'm gonna end with this. Is there anybody we should raid? Is there anybody else on? It's a Saturday night. Oh, the cool kids are out, and it's Jamie Odell's birthday. Happy holidays, James Crow. Incredible Hulk series is retail Incredible Hulk. And it becomes Hulk's sidekick. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's. Yeah, I gotta get going. I'll try to finish this up tomorrow. I think I got a good start on it. This is about what, half an hour's worth of work, just sketching. It's a lot weirder to just sketch as opposed to doing uh, the 2-minute battle sketch battles. This was the first version of it. Obviously, you can see I really got into some finished details. Started doing a lot of lighting. You can tell the Hulk obviously has a very distinct kind of Asian-esque look uh, because of the Amadeus Cho connection. But again, this I felt like the first attempt was a little too boring. So I want to go with something a little bit more dynamic. Looking at the face right now, initially, um, there's some things about um, the eyes probably need to be a little bit higher up. It could be right. I need to run the eyes off a little bit more. There is this gap here with the cheek, and then the head, the neck probably needs to come in a little bit. I'm going to have to resolve this cheek needs to come down, forehead needs to come in, so that it doesn't get too flat. I need to maintain the kind of this roundness in his head. Maybe have his forehead protrude out a little bit more. Ink 52017, good to see you. Let's get out of here. Can I raid? Who can I raid? Who's on? Any suggestions on who to raid? This raid button now gives me everybody. I guess I can do raid who I'm following. Same category, similar. Does anybody have any suggestions? Raid Lita 426. Lita 426 something. ASMR. Right. Oh, wait. Lita 426. It's not really ASMR. And she's drawing boobies. Next stream, I'm gonna draw some boobies. Happy holidays.